Exclusive new details in the drama of little Kyron Horman's disappearance. We have now learned that not one, but two 911 calls were made from the home of Kyron's dad and stepmom last Saturday. Who was calling police for help? Tonight, we've also learned Kyron's stepmom, Terry Horman, has lawyered up, hiring a prominent criminal defense attorney. And we've got the emails Terry is allegedly writing to a local TV station. Can you believe that? Is the search for Kyron taking a backseat to all this drama? Kyron's stepmom has yet to be named a suspect or even a person of interest, but it seems clear Terry Horman, with the red hair there, is the focus of this investigation. Terry was the last person to see little Kyron at his school, and that was 4 weeks ago tomorrow. Tonight, a dramatic plea for cooperation. Kyron's devastated biological mother thinks her former good friend, Terry, knows something.
We implore Terry Horman to fully cooperate with the investigators to bring Kyron home.
That poor woman, what she's going through. In the last few days, Kyron's father filed for divorce from Terry, the one in the red right there, got a restraining order against his wife, Terry, and moved out, taking their baby girl with him. Why? Stunning new reports tonight say cops told him, that's right, cops told him, take your kid and get away from her as fast as you can. If the cops did, in fact, tell Kyron Horman to get out, they gotta know something big. I'm taking your calls on this one. 1-877-JVM says. That's 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to my fantastic panel, all experts on this case. But first, let's go to investigative reporter Michelle Sagona. Michelle, what is the very latest?
I can confirm 2 911 calls, as you mentioned, on Saturday night went into police, Jane. The first one for 13 minutes involving threats. The second one was for some sort of custody matter. As far as those particular contents of the call, they're not being released at this time. Earlier today, as you mentioned, Kyron's mom did in fact speak out and is begging for Terry Moulton Horman to please come forward and to cooperate with investigators. In addition, we learned a little bit more about Kyron. Kyron's family actually answered some reporters' questions behind doors. So we learned a little bit about him. He is allergic to bees. And also, he has a strawberry birthmark on his forehead that comes back out. It's faded over time, but comes back out when he cries or when he gets excited. So those are some pretty key clues in helping to identify and to find someone. In addition, Terry has 30 days to respond to the restraining order, and once she responds, they have 5 days after that to set a hearing. So there's a lot to go through tonight, a lot to explore, and you're just getting started.
Let's listen to Kyron's biological mom, Desiree Young. Once again, from just a little while ago, she is not pulling any punches now. She is naming names.
We implore Terry Horman to fully cooperate with the investigators to bring Kyron home.
Mike Brooks, she is pointing the finger directly at Terry Horman, who used to be her very good friend. And of course, this is hand in hand with Terry's husband taking off. And reports are the cops told him to take off and get out of there with their kid. What do you make of it?
Well, you know, Jane, I'm sure that they're giving Desiree Young a little bit of update on what's going on with the case. And that says to me that they're telling her that that she is not cooperating fully with police in this matter. You know, she's had a second polygraph. She wasn't happy with that, she told someone. You know, is she cooperating or not? But now she's lawyered up, so she's probably not going to say anything now.
Wendy Murphy, you're the former prosecutor. If they have enough information to warn the dad, and this is just a published report, if cops have enough information to warn this man right there, get away from that woman right there that you just were hugging, and take your child that you had with her and head for the hills, why don't they have enough to go out and arrest her?
Well, because they're two very different things. You know, the reported 911 calls were about a threat. We don't know the details, but it's likely the threat was related to something currently going on in the home. Perhaps, for example, she said with regard to their 18-month-old baby they have together, if you don't stand up for me, I'm taking the baby and I'm leaving town, or I'm going to hurt the baby, and so forth. I mean, we don't know, but believe me, if police are worried about the safety of the 18-month-old, then they must be, because she's not allowed to be near her own baby. So their concerns about that baby are important, and they're different from what they may have about the disappearance of this little boy. The other thing that's important is this could be strategically very good for the prosecution, because this is pressure. We already know she's under huge pressure. She, whatever the polygraph results were, we now know she's been separated from her baby. She's probably devastated, and that's good if you're trying to pressure someone to cooperate, which is important.
And Jane, 911 calls don't normally last 13 minutes.
That's true.
The first one was at 5:18. The second one, on dealing with custody issues, was at 11:30 p.m. And then he's gone. So I just find it unusual. 13 minutes is a long time for a 911 call.
And unfortunately, we're not hearing those 911 calls. We'd like to, but they're being sealed because they may reveal something about the investigation, which means, I think, once again, Michelle Sagona, that the husband who took off knows something that cops told him, and that's the big question mark that we don't know, but obviously it's something that leads them to fear her being next to this child.
You're exactly right, Jane. Something major happened in that household on Saturday evening. Something came out. There was some sort of conversation, possibly some sort of fight, which obviously sparked the first 911 call, which went to the second 911 call. There was probably some sort of lag time in between and back and forth. Again, just exploring some options here, but that's just what it appears to be in this type of case. And emotions are high. You and I both know this in covering these kind of cases from over the years. These types of cases will make or break a family when a child goes missing.
Kyron's stepmother just lawyered up, as they say in the biz, just brought on a big-time criminal defense attorney. His name is Steve Howes. He's been hired by several high-profile Portland Trailblazer basketball players on drug possession, dogfighting, and sexual assault charges. He also managed to keep this particular man you're about to see, Denise Eidenair, off death row for brutally sexually assaulting and murdering a 21-year-old University of Portland co-ed. Not only did he escape execution, this guy is now eligible for parole in about 33 years. Well, I don't think I'm too happy about it, but it is a victory for this particular defense attorney. Now, we're going to go to attorney John Henry Hingson III, who works out of Portland and who knows this high-powered Portland attorney, Steve Howes. What do you make, sir, of Terry waiting so long, 27 days since the little boy's disappearance, to get lawyered up?
Better late than never.
That's true. Well,
And Jane, this is, we've heard about a divorce. This isn't a divorce attorney. This is a criminal attorney.
absolutely. And I got to tell you, I want to go to some of these comments that Terry purportedly made online. This is, I think, of all the shocking things that I've heard today, this is the most shocking. She's in isolation, but apparently she's on the computer, listening to and reading things people are saying about her. According to ABCnews.com, Terry Horman is sending emails to the website of TV station KATU under assumed names. But the TV station says it has verified that she wrote to them, saying, quote, "Unless you know all the details, the stress, the worry, the pain, you have nothing to speak of. You are merely making assumptions. You have no facts, details, or knowledge to present. So please refrain from your accusations." So she's obviously not in denial about what's happening, Dr. Judy Kuriansky. She's isolated in her home. Most people have turned on her. What do you make of her, though, in this situation with a little boy's life on the line, perhaps, gone for 27 days? Her choice is to get online to defend herself without saying, "Hey, it's me"?
I think it's very highly suspicious, Jane. You'd be the first one to always say people are innocent until proven guilty, but she's done a lot of things that point a lot of suspicion towards her. Being the last person who have seen the little boy who's gone missing. And this phrase you're using, lawyering up, from a psychological point of view, when people have to get a big-time attorney, like you just asked the attorney that question, well, psychologically, a really big criminal attorney means you've got something to hide. Otherwise, she would not be behaving the way she's behaving.
All right, Marion.